Hi, my name's Stuart Andrews, your host for this week's episode of Stag Chats. This week, we're going to continue our focus on talking to members of the Armed Forces community who have businesses that are listed on our business directory over at stagprotect.com. The business directory is a place for businesses run by members of the Armed Forces community so that they can list their products and their services and hopefully reach a wider audience. Before we jump into the interview, please don't forget to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date with any new content that we release. Good morning, Lucy. Thanks ever so much for joining me this morning. It's really lovely to meet you. To get us started, could you give us a bit of background about yourself, please?
So my name's Lucy. I am a mummy of two girls who are 4 and 2. I was a primary school teacher before we moved a lot with the army and before I had my eldest. I will go back at some point, but at the moment it's just not feasible with the amount of times we move. So I thought I would start up Tinks, and that is how Tinks was born.
For those who don't know, can you tell us a bit about what Tinks Products is and what type of things you offer?
So I hand paint a variety of products for children. So we've got money boxes, table mats, hairbrushes. People can choose. I have a bank of designs that people can choose from, or if you want something specific. So we've actually done quite a lot of army, the badges that go on the arms. I'm not a very good army wife. I'm not sure what they're for, but we've done a few of those as well.
So the motivation for starting the business was really to do with the fact that it was a challenge to hold a career down whilst you're moving around the country.
I didn't actually plan on starting a business. I literally woke up one morning and was like, I'm going to try that idea. And it just took off. So Tinks wasn't planned. I had if you'd asked me the week before, are you going to start a business? I would have been like, no. It just sort of evolved and ran, and I ran with it.
How long has Tinks Products been running for?
So we've just had our 1 year birthday at the end of February.
Fantastic. And how's that first year? Obviously, so you're a COVID-born business. How have you found getting started in amongst this crazy time that we find ourselves in?
I can't compare because I don't know what it's like not to have a business in COVID. But the perks for me for starting in COVID is because a lot of my business is online. Well, at the moment it's online. Maybe that will change when we're allowed to go out and about. Everybody was online. So in the first lockdown, everybody was on Instagram. There was a huge drive to support small businesses. So because I was so new and small, I had a lot of quite big accounts on Instagram, sharing, supporting, and that really gave me a boost on Instagram. And that's where I first started, was on Instagram. I then got an Etsy shop, and obviously from my Instagram traffic drove it to the Etsy, and then now I have my own website. So I can't compare what it would be like out of COVID, but I think the online nature of my business suited the lockdown lifestyle that everyone was living at the time.
And did you find it was a big learning curve embracing some of these technologies and the platforms that you've used to, I suppose, generate awareness of the business?
Etsy I had some understanding of, but Instagram was a whole new ball game. I've always had a private account, and I posted on that and done stories, but the actual ins and outs of how to post, when to post, how best to capture your audience, what type of post to post was all a lot of Googling, a lot of asking other friends who are slightly further ahead in their business journey than me. Instagram was a big learning curve, but I feel like I've got to grips with it now, and I'm now trying to work on Pinterest, I'm starting from scratch with Pinterest.
And obviously, it sounds to me like you're using platforms that are very visual because of the type of products that you've got. So I'm assuming that was a conscious decision to make in terms of leveraging Instagram and obviously now Pinterest.
Yeah, Instagram's brilliant for small businesses. I have a few friends that shop a lot on Instagram, and I had never used it for shopping or small businesses. I'd more used it for sort of like weaning advice when my child was weaning, or advice type accounts rather than shopping. But it is huge, and the support that you get from other small businesses. So I've got a connection of a community of small businesses on Instagram, that I chat to if I've got questions about something. And I've never met these people in real life, but they are great sounding boards. They almost become like virtual friends.
Right.
It's a really, really good community of small businesses. I would say if you're going to start a small business, Instagram is definitely a good place to start.
And how long did it take you to get your first customer on board?
I can't remember. It was within a week, but it was friends at the beginning.
Of course, we have to rely on our friends to begin with, don't we?
And actual fact, my first customer was a friend of mine who's now started up her own business, and she's doing really well with bows. So there's a few people that have seen a business start and then decide to start up their own business too, which is great.
And obviously, so you've been going for a year now.
Yeah.
And what would you say has been your proudest moment so far?
So we've just been involved in the baby show.
Okay.
And, obviously, that's huge. And I think that for me was my proudest moment because everyone came to me and was like, wow, you're part of the baby show. It's quite like a sort of big thing to be part of. And I never dreamt that I would be part of anything like that.
And how did you find yourself getting involved with that?
So I actually emailed them and asked to take part. But the fact that they said yes was for me, like, I don't know, it's just the recognition that your brand they feel is good enough to be part of that show.
So literally you just asked and they had a look at you and look at the products and welcomed you with open arms.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what their process of choosing brands or whether they let everybody in, I'm not sure, but I initiated the email and asked if there was space to exhibit, and they took me on.
And was this attended by retailers of products, so that where you were potentially selling wholesale, or was it attended by members of the public who could just contact you direct?
People that ordered from me were members of the public. Yeah. Expectant mummies. I had a few orders from people that had already had children. So
you've used Instagram to good effect. You've attended a trade show again to good effect. Have you thought about any other methods of obtaining new clients from a marketing point of view? So
I've set up a website, which I did myself. And actually it's much easier than you think to set up a website. I went into it thinking, oh no, but actually I used a platform called GoDaddy.
Yep.
And they take you through it step by step. I did the whole thing from my phone, so it's that easy.
Oh wow, that is impressive.
And I've just now set up a mailing list. I'm just in the process of setting it up, which I didn't have before, but that's another way to sort of keep people involved. And what I plan to do is I don't plan to send out lots and lots of emails, but when I have a promotion or a new product, that's to sort of is a captive audience that have already bought from me, and I will show them the new product.
Excellent. So you're looking to effectively cross-sell new products to existing customers. Mm-hmm. The trade show was your proudest moment. What have been your biggest challenges so far?
Every time we have a new product, there's always a few tweaks that need to be sort of addressed, and you think you've got it, and then suddenly you're like, oh no. So there are always tiny challenges every time we launch a new product. Obviously not actually at the launch point, prior to the launch point. Brexit was at the beginning of January was a bit of a nightmare trying to get the stock in, because the people that I buy from, the wholesalers I buy from, they couldn't get the stock. So it then meant I couldn't get the stock. That was probably our biggest challenge.
And what are your plans longer term for the business?
So just see where it goes. I never intended to start it, so it's a surprise that we've even got this far. But I think I'd like to keep it going, and it's certainly, the pace is picking up every day, so it's definitely heading in the right direction. I obviously, because it's all hand painted, I can't take people on or anything because I have to do the painting, but I have worked out ways to make it slightly quicker. So yeah, just keep going and see where it goes, and hopefully we will generate enough income that I can do more of those, like the baby show, but live when we're allowed to.
And if you had some advice for somebody who was perhaps thinking of starting a business or was just embarking on that journey, what would your top tips be?
just go for it. See where it goes. Don't be afraid to have a go. Just run with it. If you don't think too much about what could go wrong, just run with it. There will be things that go wrong along the way, but you'll get over those hurdles because they're speed bumps, not a stop sign. So just keep going, have a go. Because I think there's so many people that are too frightened to have a go, which means they don't actually ever have a go, and you don't know that you could have been sitting on an idea that would have gone boom. So just have a go.
Okay, Lucy. So where can people find Tinks products?
So we are on the internet. We've got a website. We are on Instagram. We are on Pinterest, but obviously that's all work in progress. And on Etsy as well.
Lucy, thank you ever so much for taking the time out today to meet with me. It was a real pleasure meeting you. So thanks ever so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for watching. Join me next week where we'll have another episode of Stag Chats, where I'll be joined by another business owner from a company listed on the Armed Forces Business Directory. Hopefully we'll get some more insights and some more top tips of what it's like to run a business as part of the military community. If you're a business owner and you'd like your business listed on the directory, hop over to stagprotect.com. We'd love to have you.